Merriweather.
One interesting thing about Reggie Merriweather, never comes out to silence. Every single fight, and it's always awkward. It seems like it's more awkward every time. And the last time he actually fought for IT Fight Series, Juan Valley told us that he was fighting in Pennsylvania one time, and the DJ, they called his name, and Reggie refused to come out until he turned the song off.
Some guys, they have different ways of getting focused and getting prepared for fights. A lot of guys, they get, their music gets them amped up. Other guys, they just, they're so focused and so in the zone that they don't need anything like that. So it's a little unusual in the mixed martial arts world, but to each their own.
Reggie Merriweather, 7 wins, 8 losses. And the 6th fight already for him this year, and had a couple of fights back-to-back with Albert Chang under the IT Fight Series banner earlier this year. Had one that he actually was disqualified because his cup fell out multiple times, and then fought again.
Can't just tuck it in your shorts. You got to have a jockstrap.
Fought Albert Chang again in late September and was out-wrestled in that fight. So unfortunately comes in on a 2-fight losing streak, but a decent year for Reggie Merriweather, and he's a guy who always will stay active, always shows up, and always ready to fight, and he throws some bombs in that cage.
Yep.
And his opponent out of the blue corner, Brandon Suber.
Suber coming out here. This is a local guy. This is one of the pros coming out of Walker MMA from right here in Dayton, Ohio. So, as if Reggie didn't have enough pressure on him with the 2-fight losing streak, he's going up against a hometown guy.
And it's Brandon Suber's first MMA fight since 2012. Started off his career 1 win and 2 losses, but then won 3 in a row. His last fight, he actually lost to Terry Blackwell, a very, very tough fighter, and making his return to MMA here for IT Fight Series in his hometown. Very, very well-rounded fighter. Has said he wants to strike with Reggie Merriweather in this fight, and I talked to Reggie Merriweather's coach and manager, Chuck Wells, and Chuck said, well, we'll see about that. See how long that lasts.
Well, Brandon's over there getting greased up and checked out by our referee, and had a big smile on his face when he come walking down cage side. So it looks like he is happy to be back and ready to get to business.
Of course, training under crew Robert Walker, who, that guy has more respect, I think, as a coach than just about any coach in the state of Ohio.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the IT Fight Series Professional Welterweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the right corner. This man is a striker with an MMA record, 7 wins, 8 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing at 160 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's hear it for Reggie, the Machine Merriweather. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a Muay Thai fighter and a wrestler with an MMA record of 4 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing at 159 pounds. Fighting out of Walker MMA, Brandon Suber. And the referee for this contest is Jerry Poe.
Here we go, lightweight division. Reggie Merriweather in the white, trimmed in black. Brandon Suber in the white with the blue glove tape. Jerry Poe, third man in the cage. We're ready to go. Suber immediately ducking under those strikes from Reggie Merriweather, looking for a takedown. Merriweather gets to clinch up against the cage.
Both working a few body shots right now. Suber looking like he wants to take this fight to the ground.
Working the knees to the leg up against the cage. Actually grabbing onto the shorts here of Reggie Merriweather.
I was going to say, it looked like he was grabbing the shorts there on that right side.
Merriweather has an underhook on the left side, looking for that whizzer on the right side. as Suber has him up against the cage, lands a knee. Looked like, I couldn't tell if that was a cup shot and Reggie just grunted through it or if he just got kneed.
Nice drag down by
nice
Brandon Suber. And immediately to the mount.
Kind of a modified little lat drop there by Brandon Suber in full mount here.
Reggie's trying to work his way back up.
Couple of elbows there from Suber, and Merriweather
gets him back up.
Stands up with Suber, had him mounted. That's the type of just crazy, unorthodox athlete that Reggie Merriweather is when he fights in the cage.
It looked like Suber managed to land a couple of short elbows as Reggie was working his way up.
Uppercut there.
Reggie landed some shots with that right hand.
Reggie is a wild striker, but he lands another right hand there. Landed to the face of Suber, and Suber looking here for a single leg takedown, drives Merriweather up against the cage, and Merriweather doing a good job of defending it. Looking to grab his neck here as Suber has him up against the cage. Looking to work for the takedown, lands a knee there to the body. Merriweather turns him around. And interesting to note that Merriweather is a guy who's fought at featherweight a lot in the past. This fight, 160 pounds, but he is still a very, very strong guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter what weight he fights at.
Absolutely. He's definitely a very solid athlete.
Merriweather now with the clinch up against the cage, has double underhooks and lands a knee. Actually picked Suber briefly up off the ground when he landed that knee.
Suber actually looking, he's kind of taking a big, deep breath there.
Has a body lock here, does Merriweather. Suber has control of his neck.
Suber with a couple of short punches.
Be interesting to see if Merriweather looks for the takedown here up against the cage. He is a guy who loves to strike.
Both.
Suber seems to have recovered from those few big shots there by Reggie Merriweather.
He still looks like he's breathing a little bit heavily though. I think the pressure that Merriweather's putting on him right now is taking its toll.
Right, and it looked like Merriweather might try to step through for that hip toss. Now has over underhook, and Suber turns him up against the cage. Suber drops for the double. Merriweather
stuffing the head. And
nice wizard by Merriweather, which is keeping him on his feet. Good takedown defense by Merriweather.
I think
Suber just kind of falls down there, and looked like Merriweather almost had him mounted briefly.
If he had finished that drive forward, he probably would have ended up in mount.
Suber back to his feet, throws a nice knee to the body here as they're clinching up against the cage.
Suber trying to stay busy, and he's trying to stay out of danger, but he is breathing very heavily.
And we've mentioned clinch fighting is something that takes a lot of energy out of you.
Absolutely.
Merriweather here with the clinch up against the cage. They turn again. Suber now the aggressor, looking for head positioning. Merriweather with the over-under grip.
Merriweather looking into his corner, talking to his cornerman, as a matter of fact.
Now see some blood squirting out of the nose here of Brandon Suber, maybe from that straight right hand that landed.
Yep.
Suber again turns him, and Merriweather turns him off the cage again.
Merriweather working him slowly back into his corner.
Not a ton of strikes being thrown here as they jockey for position here up against the cage. In this first round, trade knees there. Suber, I will say, looks absolutely gassed.
He
does. Mentioned that 3-year layoff seems to be taking a toll on him.
Oh, huge right hand right there by Merriweather.
Yeah, and you see Suber just eat those shots and look for the takedown here. Merriweather
ends up in the top position here, half guard, but he's got Suber up against the cage, and Suber looks absolutely gassed right now.
And that's the bad thing about diving for a desperation.
He's just trying to survive this round right now. He's got
big left
5 seconds
here
left.
from Reggie Merriweather.
And he ends up taking the back. And it's saved by the bell. Reggie Merriweather, he got a little careless there at the very end, but Suber definitely looking the worse for wear out of this.
Great first round there, and how do you score that back and forth battle between these two professional fighters?
Yeah, that's a very close round to call, but I'd say with the control and the aggression, I'd have to go with Merriweather on that one.
Also, it seems like the momentum going the way of Merriweather here in this fight.
Yes, it does.
Even though Suber briefly looked to grab that rear naked choke at the end of the round, wasn't able to lock it in, but
Yeah, Merriweather got a little bit sloppy with his technique there with the last couple of seconds, and that could have cost him dearly if there was another 5 seconds on the clock. But
right, he got a little bit wild as he maybe saw the finish line there.
Yeah.
And got his back taken and almost choked out. And it's interesting, a lot of guys will do that when the end of the round, because it's hard to lock in a submission.
Right.
With 10 seconds left. There we go. Glove touch for the second round. Reggie Merriweather touches and throws a big body shot. Grabs the. We still have the music going here in the beginning of the second round, but Merriweather throws a big body shot, lands a knee. Suber has the clinch up against the cage, but Merriweather actually with a better position here.
Suber is expending a lot of energy with trying to hit this takedown.
Yeah, it looked like Merriweather could have taken Brandon Suber's back there as they again jockey for position here up against the cage.
Merriweather still looking very calm, very composed.
Suber has those overhooks here with his hands grasped. It's going to be hard for him to get a takedown unless he changes levels here.
Yeah.
At this point, it's pretty much a stalemate between these two fighters.
Merriweather is definitely listening to his corner. He keeps repeatedly looking over there, and his coaches are calling to him.
You see Muhammad Abdullah and Chuck Wells in the corner of Reggie Merriweather here. Merriweather turns him again. Knee to the body there from Suber as his back is against the cage.
Suber with a Muay Thai grip, his back up against the cage there.
Looks like Merriweather might be trying to suck out the hips here and get a takedown, but throws a right hand over the top and another right hand.
Good right hand out of the clinch there.
That's what Merriweather was looking for. He was looking for that release and throw that big right hand. As every time he releases, that right hand is landing.
Merriweather with the good underhook, looking for the whistle on that left side.
Suber now looking again for the. Thought briefly he was looking for the single leg.
And he's got the switch right there.
Yeah. Merriweather trying to crank that underhook to stay on his feet. Nice
elbow. Merriweather trying to maintain his position here.
These are professionals. They can use the elbows here to the head, and that is one of the most vicious strikes.
Oh, absolutely.
Couple of knees that looked maybe low there, but Merriweather didn't seem to complain. Merriweather has the body lock. Again, they're in a stalemate here up against the cage. Suber still looking for this takedown as Merriweather looking to release.
It looks like Suber might have been, he was kind of sneaking that arm up like he was looking for that short inside elbow with the left.
One thing you'll never see is Reggie Merriweather get tired. That's why his nickname is The Machine. Has absolutely crazy cardio.
Again, Suber looking for that takedown, desperately trying to get it to the ground, but Reggie's
good
takedown defense has been just spot on.
Right, and Suber has control of that right leg here. I want to see him pop a little short elbow here from Reggie Merriweather.
Yeah.
He had a good position there. Merriweather now at the clinch again, and as we mentioned, Merriweather's cardio is absolutely ridiculous. Suber looks gassed. He has a mouse under his right eye.
He's got a nasty mouse under the right eye. His mouth is open. He's breathing heavily.
And Merriweather now locks his hands, and
Merriweather
that's when you go for a ride.
Nice takedown straight into half guard, and he may have the setup for a head and arm triangle here as he slips around to the back.
Yeah, looking to take the back here of Brandon Suber. Suber back to his feet. Merriweather still has his back. Suber turns into him.
Good transition by Suber to get him back off his back.
Grinding second round here between these two lightweight fighters. Two experienced guys.
Suber trying for that drag down that he hit in the first.
And Merriweather too experienced to get hit by that. Suber now drives the takedown, gets it right in front of our broadcast position here.
Merriweather, he's going to get right back out there. Merriweather, he's got his base, and he's going to look to just climb right back to his feet. He's also got Suber's neck, so you might want to watch this. He stands up. He's liable to go for the guillotine. It looks like he let it go.
Good job by Merriweather getting back to his feet. Once again, another
elbow. Those inside elbows.
4 or 5 elbows
those
here by Reggie Merriweather.
All completely legal elbows, and they do not feel good.
Just absolutely thudding. We can hear them landing to the temple of Brandon Suber right in front of our broadcast position here still.
He's already bruising up from where those elbows.
Suber still grinding, still looking for that takedown, has the clinch up against the cage. Throwing some knees.
Trying to work the quad of Reggie Merriweather, but Merriweather just seems unfazed by pretty much anything that Brandon Suber is throwing at it.
Over under here for Brandon Suber. 10 seconds left to go here in the second round as Merriweather turns him once again up against the cage.
Foot stomps from Brandon Suber, but
Merriweather returns the favor. Great second round, as we mentioned. Merriweather.
Just fantastic cardio and conditioning.
Good back and forth fight here between these two experienced fighters. In that round, Merriweather had his back on the cage a lot, but seemed to definitely be the aggressor a lot of times and landed a lot more strikes than what Suber did.
Yeah, I think Suber's going to have to pull it out here in the third round if he's going to walk out of here with a victory.
And as we mentioned before, Merriweather still on his feet in between rounds, and Suber sitting down in his corner may show maybe a sign of kind of where this fight has been through the first two rounds.
Well, Brandon Suber's coach is in here trying to get his arms loosened up.
Trying to make sure that lactic acid does not build
yes,
up
indeed.
here.
I'll tell you what, when you can't pick your arms up, that makes for a very bad ending.
Those hands are heavy, both guys, though.
Merriweather looks like he is stalking for the finish here. And big right hand again. And Merriweather right into the mount. Suber going for the takedown. Merriweather's got a hook. He's got one hook in.
Looking to put his grab.
And if he gets this other hook in, this could end quickly. Merriweather working for that rear naked.
Suber trying to turn into Reggie Merriweather here. Merriweather with a good ride.
Keeping his position.
Suber back to his feet. Suber looking to hit that switch again. With Merriweather still having his back and having control actually of both of his arms pinned. Suber out of that. Good job by
escape by Brandon Suber. Very good escape.
There's a leg kick.
Big right hand.
And Reggie was waiting for that and countered.
Oh.
Suber, as soon as Merriweather.
Suber is taking some shots here.
Merriweather
is again with those elbows. Again with those elbows. And Suber is just, and again Merriweather right to the mount. Suber can do absolutely nothing with him.
Big shots here.
And he just looks like he is completely out of gas.
That's the thing you get from Reggie Merriweather.
Merriweather looking for the finish. He is just raining down shots here. He is looking for the finish.
Jerry Poe
giving it a look, but letting it go so far.
Merriweather has his back again, and still one hook in.
And he gives up position. Suber now in top.
Great job by Jerry Poe giving Brandon Suber time to recover.
Absolutely.
And turn this fight around. Suber now in guard. Merriweather locks his ankles here. Pulling down the head of Brandon Suber, not letting him posture and throw.
Merriweather still
blows.
very composed and very relaxed.
Good elevator there by
beautiful escape by Merriweather. I mean, he is just landing some bombs in every punch that he is throwing right now.
Merriweather
Suber has no answer.
Lighting up.
Suber has no answer.
Now blood pouring from the nose of Brandon Suber.
Suber is fighting to survive.
He just won't go away here in this fight. I've seen Reggie Merriweather hit a lot of people with shots that big, and Suber just taking everything.
Absolutely, nothing but credit to Brandon Suber. I mean, he has taken some serious shots.
Another elbow here from Reggie Merriweather. Great action in this fight here. Lightweights, third round here. Suber still looking for the takedown, and Merriweather. Great takedown defense, those excellent hips, stays on his feet.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. It looks like Merriweather starting to feel the effects himself a little bit there.
There's another shot to the head here. Merriweather looking.
Merriweather's got to be careful because he's starting to look a little bit gassed himself.
I don't know. It doesn't even look like he's breathing hard to me, though. He looks like he's just trying to make it back to his feet here. right in his corner. Maybe looking to hit this switch here out of this.
Suber now
his
sneaking out the back. And now working for that rear naked choke. Merriweather could be in trouble here. This would be
for Suber.
This would be an incredible finish to a fantastic fight.
The big key here is Suber does not have the hooks in.
Right.
Merriweather can just shake him off.
He's very high up.
As we are late here in the third round, Merriweather now looking to survive.
Merriweather in survival mode now.
Suber has it locked in.
Merriweather's got the chin tucked. I don't think he's in danger yet.
Just on the jaw still here. Doesn't have the leverage, does Suber, to get the rear naked choke locked in. Great heart shown here by Reggie Merriweather.
Brandon Suber looking to pull off an incredible finish here after being pretty much dominated in the first 2 rounds. Now trying to finish Reggie Merriweather.
He has his body torqued and Merriweather not having any of it.
He is just...
Merriweather just gritting his teeth, and still doesn't look like it's completely in.
I don't think it's sunk completely underneath.
His corner doesn't seem to be too concerned.
Looks like Merriweather may have a hand up in, creating just enough space for him to be able to breathe.
There's a lot of torque on the neck here, though. Great submission.
10 seconds. We have 10 seconds left.
Great fight here between these
Absolutely
two guys.
fantastic.
Absolute war.
Absolutely fantastic showing by both of these guys.
And how about the heart of Brandon Suber?
Man.
Staying in the fight and almost finishing it in the third round. We get
a 3-year layoff, and comes back with this phenomenal 3-round war with a very, very game Reggie Merriweather. It'll be interesting to see how the judges go with this one.
Something you do not see often, though. No. Reggie Merriweather with his hands on his knees.
Now, like I said, towards the end of that round, right when Suber was looking to escape and take Reggie's back, Reggie started to look a little bit tired. Expended a lot of energy dealing out that damage towards the beginning part of that third round. So, kind of ironic that Suber now looks like the fresher man.
Yeah, I think that rear naked choke attempt there at the end of the third round
kind of revitalized him.
Rejuvenated him. And he's ready for round 4 now.
Right.
All the momentum seemed to be going the way of Brandon Suber, but nevertheless, the fight, we think at least, will go to Reggie Merriweather, as it is scored on a 10-point must system, round by round. Reggie Merriweather won the first 2 rounds, and if that was the case, Suber did need to finish to get the win.
Excellent showing. Excellent showing for Brandon Suber. The heart, the tenacity that he had to
Both
be able
guys,
to make it through.
Merriweather gritting through that rear naked choke attempt.
He was in that rear naked choke for a while. He was in there for a good 30 or 40 seconds at least. I mean,
Nick Hahn is on his way into the cage here for the official result of this fight, which has clearly been the fight of the night thus far.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not to take anything away from Avery Arellano or Robert Haas, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of fighting, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Judge Heckel scores the fight 29-28, Merriweather. Judge Caller scores the fight 29-28, Suber. And Judge Brothers scores the fight 30-27 for your winner by split decision, Reggie Merriweather.
Interesting 30-27 there, though, for Reggie Merriweather. I thought he clearly lost that third round.
Yeah, I honestly believed that as well. We definitely agreed that he had taken the first 3 rounds.